Wednesdays, and there ain't going to be too many more of them. Well, there'll be plenty more Wednesdays in the world, of course, but not West London Wednesdays on RGT. We're really near the end of the series. This is the second last. Kind of exciting in one sense. We're thrilled to be on IndieVelo every Monday at 7:30. We're moving from Wednesdays to Monday. They're going fantastically well, and that's great. But this is the end of an era on RGT. Let's look who's leading in this shortened series that we put out just to run up to the end of RGT. Now look at that, Lorenzo Simons from Moonriders, absolutely thrilled to be at the top of the rankings. Only dropped 1 point. Nick Greenhouse right on his tail though, 197 points. James Melville, a perennial podium finisher, 192. Mark Rowbottom dead level with him. Anthony Dubray from France, 191. Marino Sesson, 190. How tight can it be? Jorgen van Beurs, Jon Samet, Rocket Royman, Nield, Marion Marisek, all within touching distance. This is going to be thrilling. Ladies League, Eileen Davison and Christine Meek leading. Delighted to see Christine up there. All four races are going to count this time, so turn up and get the points while you can. All three top ladies will get trophies at the end of the series. Moonriders, West London VR1 and VR2 in the teams. Because it's a shortened series, not everybody entered a team, so that's probably why that's like that. West London VR ladies leading React ladies in the ladies teams. So let's have a look at tonight's course, because we are in Riba. It's Puerto Rico. And thanks to Maria Vitsky for giving us this. This is a local crit course they use. 3 kilometres a lap. They go around this, and they obviously go along this canal Blasina. We fast blast racing on Blasina tonight. And you can see it's this wonderful little loop round this canal, back over the bridge, back to the finish. 5 times, dead flat. But isn't it exciting to be back in the Caribbean? You'll remember we did Dominica in the last series, and this time round it's Puerto Rico. So from a Northern European's perspective, they aren't the most obvious places to go, and I hope this is as good as when we were in Dominica. Now 46 seconds to go to the start, just in time I think to have a look at who's on the start line. So let's see what we've got. So 43 riders on the start line at the moment. I'm delighted to see some of my own West London jerseys in there, picking out the OTR jerseys. Moonriders I can see in there as you'd expect, and of course all the usual suspects in terms of jerseys. Looking at the side, Migu Canada, Wouter Clay's in there for Moonriders, of course. Wouter, I think it's worth mentioning that Wouter, apart from being a brilliant rider, has contributed behind the scenes. Many of you won't realise the effort into some of the apps he wrote to facilitate all of our races, not just mine, but other people's. So well done, Wouter. 2 seconds to go. They're about to blast off. Here they come. Brilliant camera work, and Rocket Roy Nield, as we expect from him, zooming off the front, and a few people caught out the back. Roy again, Nick Greenhouse, not letting that go too far, is he? Look at this. He's in that group, but it's Jon Samet who's on Roy's tail. I say he's on Roy's tail. He's not moved over and taken the draft from Roy, so I don't know if Jon Samet has or has not adopted steering. I think we had a discussion about it, if I remember rightly, John. Ivan van Beurs Imar van Beurs, sorry, I should say. Alistair McAlpine back. Alistair, the reigning champion, but can't win this series because he's missed too many races. And Tim Cummins up there at 5th. Great stuff, Tim. Nick Greenhouse, Nick Lee, James Melville, Marion Marisek, all names that we're very familiar with. Oh, Tim Cummins off the front. I spoke to Tim during the week. I say spoke. Of course, it was on social media. Tim's on very good form, and he was saying to me he's just really got to grips with RGT, and it's shut him down, and he certainly has improved over this year. So well done, Tim. Lovely to speak to you during the week as well. Marion Marisek now taking up the lead from Tim. James Melville, Ingmar van Beurs, Jon Samet, Roy Rocket Nield, Copsey, and who we've got? I think it's Darren Bench, Phil Collins, as we know, Will Brown in there as well. This is Tobias Bjork just off the back of that group, and behind him is a little gap back to Gautam Thacker. Gautam been riding up and down mountains with me in Mallorca over the weekend, and I don't know how much he's got in his legs. Top Jimmy's up there with Gautam as well, with Phil Collins. But this front group now whittled down a little bit and we can see there's a little bit of a gap appearing right at the front as Marianne Marasek for Ratio takes a bit of a lead. Got Copsey as well. So the Ratio riders, there's 3 of them at the front. Ingmar van Bergen and Nick Greenhouse is in the group as well. Not in that little breakaway that Gasper Cops, sorry, I don't know where I got Greg off from. Gasper Cops is taking up. So Moon Rider's very dominant in his front group. The Outer Clays we see in there now at 9th place. As I was saying at the start, the Outer has put a lot of work and effort into background facilities for races run by anybody to go through the halfway stage on the first lap, about 3 kilometres per lap. This is a group back. Al Marshy in there, Gautam Thacker, Darren Bench, Will Brown, I think I can see in that group. Jay Rogers, Hobbs, Nick Coney, Twickenham CC rider, Marianne Schujlerek, and who else have we got in there that I haven't mentioned? I think that's about it for that group. Lovely to see you all. There's Nick Coney. I think Nick might be new to this. I don't know if he came from Zwift or whatever, but I know he's one of the Twickenham riders, so well done. There's Marcin Schujlerek, 29th at the moment. Still got 43 riders riding. A couple of bots in there, so that's probably about 40 finishers. Gasper Kops now being hauled down by Wouter Clays, and he's got Roy the Rocket Neal with him, and those two go streaming past. Nick Greenhouse keeping a firm eye on this and making sure that he doesn't get left behind. Jake Ganter in there, the German rider as well, we haven't mentioned so far. Matt Hammond, another Ratio rider up there at 7th. Ratio very dominant in this race, and they have got a team riding in this. I will say, when I showed the caption earlier and I said there was only 3 teams, Ratio are in there, but there was a little bit of an issue getting their team fully set up, and that has, I believe, now been done. So the next time you see the team's classification, you'll probably see Ratio Racing up there competing with the Moon Riders guys. So that'll be interesting. Only one race left. Can you believe this is the penultimate race? They're coming up to the end of the first lap in the penultimate race. Roy the Rocket Neal, Wouter Clays, Nick Green, Houch and Gasper Kops now a full 20 metres ahead of the rest as they come through the finishing line. Doesn't that look splendid? The references on the side, you see the OTR adverts. We're also sharing this race with OTR and their Festival of Cycling, and it's in Puerto Rico, so I put OTR's logo over the Puerto Rican flag. And once again, thanks so much to Maria Vetsky for providing this quick course, and of course the preview video that we put up on our YouTube channel for you to have a look at before you race it. Fantastic to include. See at 11th, Carl Zander Persson is in there. He's in 11th, but he's leading an 11th group, which is outside of this top 10 that are broken away. And we see Gasper Kops once again. I don't know if it's Copsy or Cops, but I was going to say Copsy now, shall we? We'll change it to Copsy and then change it back every so often, just so that we only get it wrong 50% of the time. So this front group now, a clear, there's a little bit of a gap back to Carl Zander Pedersen. So I think we're probably going to see the winner out of this top 10. As we can see, 2 groups now split, and it's still Gasper Kops off the front though, isn't it? That second group, interesting to see that James Melville is in the first group, isn't he? So the second group starts with number 12, I think. So that here we are. So James Melville, 11th, is in that front group. 12th is Craig Jones, the Welshman, and he leads the second group. In fact, the second group, there isn't a second group. I think everything's split up now, isn't it? So, in fact, it's looking fairly stretched in this front group now as these 5 go ahead. I've got a feeling, though, the second 5 have got it in them to make this up. John Sammet, Carl Zander Pedersen, James Melville, Marianne Marasek, and Matt Hammond. I think they can pull this together again. I don't think this is going to split into 2 groups. Not sure what's happening back in the second group, though. That looks to have fragmented a little bit. And we see some of the riders. So this is the back of the front group. Now, John Sammet in there, I would imagine he can get back on. Carl Zander Persson, Axel Branson, he can get back on. And there's 4 of them riding together. I think if they can just sort of get up to the next rider, which is, look, John Sammet, I think. No, isn't it? It's, who is it? Trying to work out who who the rider in front is. It might be Nick Greenhalgh, actually. I think if they can get on Nick Greenhalgh's, it's Matt Hammond, actually. I could see it was a Ratio rider, and I could see Nick Greenhalgh's name, but there we are. I think they can get up to Matt, and I think the 5 of them can do it, but it's eking out now. It's 25 metres gap, and it's 50 metres, so it's 25 metres for Matt, and it's 50 metres for the other group. What's going to happen next? Roy the Rocket Neil, now he's known for pushing hard off the front. He's going to not let up. So this group of 6 in this first little group, they do have a strong advantage, and if they can sit on Roy's wheel, and I think they can hold off the other guys for a while, but, and I have to say that my assertion that they can probably catch up is not proving to be true, because they're now 40 metres behind in the second group, and even further back to Cole Xander Person. So actually, I think some damage has been done. I wasn't expecting that to happen at this point. Only 5.5k into the race. We're about a third of the way through the race, coming up to the end of the second lap for the leaders. As they come round this bend, remember it's a rectangle shaped course, it's dead flat, it's in Puerto Rico. You'll see the Puerto Rico flag on some of the roadside banners, because we're celebrating doing a race over there for Mirovitzky and everybody else from Puerto Rico who supported us over a period of time. This group at the front now, a little bit stretched, 6 riders. I think the winner's going to come from this group, even though we're only a third of the way through, because that gap back to Matt Hammond is now something in the region of 70 metres. So I think the second group is going to have to fight out for 7th place onwards as this 6 go ahead. And here we are going through the start finishing line. So let's have a look at the second group as they come through. How bunched are they? Well, it's a little bit spread out, isn't it? They're not cohesive. 5 riders there split into a 2 and a 3. So not necessarily working together to make up the gap, and the gap now getting bigger and bigger as they lap a rider still on the previous lap. And I think that says a lot about these races, about how fast they go. This is Group 2, of course, now. Carl Xander Person now just behind Marian Marasek. Matt Hammond at the front, well, not quite at the front, actually. Matt just behind John Samet, who's doing all the work, and they're chasing down that same rider that's being lapped at the back at the moment. I think it's, I don't know if the lapped riders feel the same, but I often think if you are one of the guys who sort of come along just to sort of see how you fare, it's quite fun being lapped, because you get to see all the other riders, don't you? You're not out there on your own. You do see the rest of the race. You've probably got no idea what's going on, and you might even get a little bit of drag for a few metres if you can sit on their wheels, can't you? So aerial view, thanks very much, Damon, as they go around one of these tight bends. I remember when I first got the course, I actually played around with that just to make those a little bit more raceable, and it looks like they got there in there fairly smoothly. You can see the little link that I left in there as they go around another one of these bends that I've smoothed out a little bit just to make it a little bit less jerky as they went round, and it doesn't seem to be messing up the racing for them, so that seems to have worked. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Jasper Cox, Alistair McAlpine, Roy the Rocket Neil in this group at the front, James Melville. That's 2 Glasgow United riders in that front 6. Glasgow United in the last series were getting, they had so many second and third spots, it was unbelievable. It was almost worthy of a street party when they kind of got a win, because so many times they were just thwarted by one rider. That rider was so often Wouter Claes. Wouter Claes is not in this front group, and he's not in the second group. So he is in this front group. I beg your pardon. There's Wouter, third in the Moon Riders kit. So as I say, Wouter, so often one of those riders that just spoilt the day for Glasgow United in there again. So they'll probably be eyeing up what he's doing. 2 Ratio riders in there as well. So 2 Glasgow United, 2 Ratio, 1 Moon Riders, and 2 Moon Riders, because Roy the Rocket Neil is also a Moon Rider, but not wearing the Moon Rider kit. So 3 teams dominating the top 6. Absolutely fantastic. Unless, of course, you're from one of the other teams. But there we are. I wonder if we can look further back in the field. This is Group 2. I don't know if we can have a look further back than them. Here we are. Craig Jones, all in white today. On our Monday races on IndieVelo, Craig has produced the most wonderful kit using the Welsh colours. Tim Cummins, as I said, having a great season. He's on his own at the moment, but strong rider now, and he will little relish that. Email Van Burs, Tobias York, Healy, in this little group. I think they might do well to sit on each other's wheel. I think Tobias needs to just move over and get behind the wheel, but he's not. He's going round, isn't he? So we'll see. Love the Belgian kit, Mr. Healy. Absolutely fantastic. Mick Lee out on his own, like his teammate Tim Cummins. Will Brown 20 metres behind him. Will actually has another rider that I've seen improve over the years I've known him, and he's just riding with Reese from Paolo Reese, I think it is, I might be wrong. Top Jimmy and Gautam Thacker, two West London riders sitting on Nick's wheel there. And I know both these two ride in time. We did the OTR team time trials, and I know these two both in the team, so they're probably used to sitting on each other's wheel. Gautam's actually going for it, isn't he? He's whizzing past Reese to stay on Will Brown's wheel. Top Jimmy needs to do that as well. Here we have Hobbs in one of those rather loud but resplendent jerseys. I quite like those eye-catching jerseys. He's ahead of Nick Coney, the new Twickenham rider. I say new Twickenham rider. He's probably been... Is Nick Coney there? Al Marshy in there, just going past Hobbs. Nick, as I say, he's probably not a new Twickenham rider at all. He's probably just new to us. Darren Bench has got Eileen Davison on his wheel. I think Eileen is going to go for the title this time round, and it looks like she's the leading lady so far. So another 100 points will certainly set her up very, very nicely for the series. But remember, the top three ladies will all get trophies. Phil Collins will be the next one behind her. We've got a Frenchman, Exlund, Marcin Schluderek as well. Jay Rogers at 27. Exlund just behind him, the French rider, with Phil Collins, the English rider, the British rider again. Marcin Schluderek, as they just overtake one of the bots, I think. Somebody stopped by the start line there. I'm not sure who that was. This is a bot. You can see John Sammet and the front crew just going pole for one of the front crews. Gonzalez Q from Spain at 40 is the last rider. Behind, ahead of, and we have three of the ladies in there. Christine Meek, and I think Christine, this is the third out of three races she's done. This is Lisa West we're looking at from Twickenham. Lisa has missed the first two, but has nevertheless been one of our competitors for a long time. Twickenham Cycling Club once again, like Nick Coney. Maria Vitsky riding for West London. So between Christine and here's Maria now, and she's riding on home territory. She is the lady who gave me the course for this. So very big thank you, Maria, and good luck in the race. You're within sight of Christine Meek, though, aren't you? So we'll see. 54 metres. We'll have to see how that goes. As I say, I know all three of these ladies, and they are all wonderful. And thank you very much for being so much part of online cycling for the last 3 and a bit years, or however long it is, nearly 4. Here we have Coolin and Migu Canada at 36th. Now, as I say, we are moving over to, or we've moved over, we've been on IndieVelo for some time. Andy Evans at 34th on his own again. Come on, Andy, you need to get behind us. 80 metres to the Norwegian Talks, if you can do it. Riding for OTR, of course. And just in the window there in your screen, one of the other bots. So back to the front group now. Let's have a look at this. We've still got this 6 who've broken away quite clearly. Just a reminder of the course here. This is in Puerto Rico, remember, and this is the north of the island. And it's just 3 kilometre crit, five laps we're doing around both sides of this canal, the Canal Blasina. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrongly, because I pronounce most things wrongly if I'm not a native speaker, and Spanish is something I haven't perfected pronunciation of, I'm afraid. So these 6 just going past Lisa, the Twickenham rider. Lovely to see you back, Lisa, whose other half, by the way, is the chairman or president of Twickenham Cycling Club. So they're very much a household devoted to cycling in the Twickenham area, and well done for doing so. These things don't happen without all the people who volunteer and put them together, you know. So these 3 still sort of hugging together. Another lap to go, really, and it's going to be interesting, because this is now the time when they need to start looking at each other, working out what their strategy is. We have 6 strong riders. I would say that between, I think, Nick, Roy, and probably Wouter are the most likely to break away and win on some sort of sprint. And if it is going to come from those three, it'll be really about when you work out when to go and what suits you. So I don't think anybody's going to let anybody go, although Roy pushing it a little bit on the front. Usual split out. Well, it's not Roy on the front, is it? It's James Melville. Split it up a little bit, but these tend to come together again. We are, as I say though, coming to that sort of last stretch now where here we go. And here we go through into the last lap, and the last 3 kilometres now are going to be decisive. So how is 6 going to play it out? As I say, my guess is that if we're going to have them all together at the end, Wouter, Roy, and probably Wouter, Roy, and Nick Greenhalgh will be the ones who go for a sprint. What there's in their legs, only they know. Here comes Group 2. John Sammer leading that. 5 riders in there. So we're going to have 2 great sprints at the end of this. James Melville pushing it out. Now, I would imagine that James is hoping just to take a little bit out of everybody else, but they've all caught up now. So if he has, that's that. And hopefully he hasn't taken too much out of himself. Alistair McAlpine, his teammate there. Alistair won the series last time, so he's the reigning champion. I would say Alistair is very good at kind of finishing the podium. Doesn't necessarily beat Wouter Clays in a sprint. So if Alistair can get ahead, but I don't think that's. I don't think there's enough left in this race. There's no attack points because it's dead flat. So I think they're stuck together, and it'll be all about who has the legs and times their sprint absolutely right. Going around that tight bend, a little bit of a jolt because they will be automatically braked. I didn't make it perfectly round when I sort of adjusted it, shall we say? But you see again there. Didn't perfectly adjust it, just left a little bit in so that the brakes kick in. Otherwise, it would just, I mean, without being derogatory about other channels, it would just be like Zwift, wouldn't it? And we're not about that on this, on RGT. If you're on RGT, it's probably because you like a bit more sophistication than Zwift offers. Albeit that Zwift does do some marvellous things too, but braking on corners historically wasn't one of them, was it? So James Melville now pushing out. Roy the Rocket Neal on the other side, not getting the benefit of the draft. Wouter Clays, though, now going for it. This is typical Wouter. I mean, I've seen Wouter do short breakaways and long breakaways in a race. Looking like he's trying for a long one here, thinking he can split the field. Roy the Rocket Neal not having any of that. Nick Greenhalgh up there. And if anything, it's the 2 Glasgow United riders that are falling off a little bit. James Melville at the back. Alistair McAlpine just getting back on. Can James do it? I think he can, but it's going to be very, very hard, and it will leave him with nothing for the sprint. James closing the gap now as they go past Migu Canada. They're lapping him, of course, and as we can see, James is now back on it, but it's not ideal because Roy the Rocket Neal has got away clean at the front, hasn't he? And Roy the Rocket Neal now has got 45 metres on the others with a kilometre to go. The 5 working together could catch him, but I think maybe, just maybe, they've left themselves too big a task. Roy the Rocket Neal now, 900 metres to go. He's got a gap of 60 metres on the others. I don't think they're going to make this, but you never know. Roy could blow up. He might have gone too soon. But knowing the way Roy sits on the front of races, I would suspect not. He's stretched it out to 71 metres. And 71 metres is quite enough. It's about 10% of what they've got left to ride, which means everybody else behind him has got to ride 10% faster just to catch him on the line. I don't think they're going to do that. It's about 74 metres. It's fluctuating a little bit. Nick Greenhalgh pushing hard. Wouter Clays taking a turn on the front now. Which one's it going to be? These 5 together now. Roy the Rocket Neal has got clear by 80 odd metres. It's heading up for 90. Roy is going to win the race. Absolutely fantastic. And there's going to be some shake-ups at the top here because Lorenzo Simons, who's leading the series, isn't around, so we'll have to see how this all plays out. Roy the Rocket Neal, though, now clean away. It's down to 70 metres on James Melville. James Melville has eked out a little bit on Nick Greenhalgh. I expect Nick Greenhalgh to go towards the end, though. Wouter Clays now catching up with James as Roy the Rocket Neal takes the win. Fantastic. Well done, Roy. Let's see how it finishes. And look at this. It's Gasper Corks versus Wouter Clays, and I think Gasper just got that one. Nick Greenhalgh settling for third. James Melville and Alistair McAlpine making up the 6th. And look at John Samet. He's gone clear by 18 metres of Matt Hammond in Group 2. 250 metres to go. Can he hold this? 20 metres. Matt Hammond's chasing. He's getting it down under 20 metres with 170 to go. Here comes Matt. He's catching John. Is there enough road left for John? No, I don't think there is. I think Matt's going to just... No! I'm changing my mind every second. John just holding on, and John just taking it from Matt Hammond. Carl Zander, Axel Persson taking 9th spot. Here comes Marian Marasek. He's just in front of Ganta, the German. Fantastic racing. Tim Cummins with another great result. I think Tim was 10th last week. He'll be delighted with a 10th and a 12th in consecutive weeks. As I say, spoke to him during the week, and he was almost disappointed that RGT's going because he said really just getting the hang of it all and getting a great result. So well done, Tim. Craig Jones will follow Tim. As I say, it's Craig in white today, but watch out on Monday Malarkey on IndieVelo. Every Monday at 7:30. We've moved to Mondays on IndieVelo. We've been there for quite a few months now, actually. But anyway, it's all settling in nicely and doing very, very well. So make sure Mondays are now free for your West London VR racing. There's the top 10. We see Craig Jones now giving us a little wave. Tobias Bjork now 14th. You can see the top 10 on the right. Roy Rocket Neal, fantastic breakaway. Gasper Corps just beating Wouter by a very, very fine margin. Nick Greenhouse pipping James Melville ahead of his clubmate Alistair McAlpine. And Tobias Bjork just beating Healy over the line. Ingmar Van Beers coming in, only one of the Van Beers riders in today. Will Brown now just going past Lisa West, who must be on a different lap. Looks like Will's got away from Gotem and Nick Lee. He was on his own quite a way back, wasn't he? It's Nick Lee that was with Gotem and Top Jimmy, wasn't it? That was the trio we were looking at earlier. Will, another rider that I've known for a few years and has got stronger and stronger over the years. So well done, Will. Another great result. And who else have we got coming in? It's there's Nick Lee, as I said. Nick got away from Gotem there. Gotem, we'll put that down to climbing all those mountains in North Mallorca, shall we? Reese, the Portuguese, taking the next spot. Top Jimmy now. He's got a bit of a duel on with Nick Coney, hasn't he? Or yes, he has. Top Jimmy or Nick Coney. So it's West London versus Twickenham, two local clubs. It looks like Top Jimmy's just about to pull away from Nick. Never mind, Nick. I'm sure you're going to get stronger and stronger, and hopefully we'll see you regularly in Monday Malarkey too. Al Markey coming in after that. Darren Bench, Hobbs there getting the waves. Eileen Davison sitting on the wheel of these two. That's interesting. I wonder if Eileen's going to go for it. No, they're pulling away. They're dueling each other. Eileen, I don't know. Don't write off Eileen yet. She's a lot stronger than this picture might suggest. It looked like they pulled away. She's out the saddle. She's putting a bit of effort and don't think she's going to make it. Darren Bench looks like he's pulled away clean. Can Eileen take a spot from Hobbs? She's going for it. But the road's running out. It's running out. Oh! We'll have to see that. I think she might have got that by the width of a tyre. Marcin Studerek coming in for Moon Riders next at 27th. Lightfoot at 28th is just about to lose a place to Rogers, the Irishman, on the line. Unfortunate, but there we are. Rob Gilmore taking the next spot. Phil Collins coming in, 260 metres to go ahead of Torx, the Norwegian. Andy Evans from the West London team behind him. So Phil with 160 metres to go. Looking at the results on the right where we watch Phil finish. Roy Rocket Neal, Casper Gorks. There was a player called Casper Corks who used to play for Queen's Park Rangers. Sorry, Gasper Corps. Sorry. Nick Greenhouse, 4th. James Melville, 5th, as we look at Torx Norwegian with 600 metres to go. Alistair McAlpine settling for 6th. Then there was a gap back to John Samet, Matt Hammond in that tight race there. Carl Alexander Persson taking the next slot ahead of Marian Marasek. Julius Ganter, Tim Cummins, Craig Jones, Tobias Bjork for West London at 14th, Joe Healy at 15th, Ingmar Van Beers, only one of the Van Beers brothers, in tonight at 16th, ahead of Will Brown and Nick Lee, both for Westerly. Gautam Thacker for West London at 19th, Pedro Reis, the Portuguese, at 20th, beating Top Jimmy, who just pipped Nick Coney from Twickenham Cycling Club. Al Marchi at 23rd, Darren Bench at 24th, Eileen Davison taking the ladies' race with 25th and 100 points in the ladies series for her. So anyway, I hope everybody's going to sort of kind of have a champagne bottle by the end of by the side of them by the next race, because the next one will be well, apart from our Monday malarkey on IndieVelo on Monday, next Wednesday will be the last one of these, and I think everybody should have champagne by the side of their their talks coming in next. Here's Andy Evans out there. So this was a suggestion by Damon, who says he's having the penultimate beer now as they finish. So he's celebrating the penultimate race. But I think you should up that to champagne at the next race. Migu Canada now is going to finish 34th, not having his usual duel with Maria Vitsky. He seems quite clean, 35th now, 100 metres behind him. Christine Meek, well ahead of Maria Vitsky and Lisa West. So it looks like Christine Meek's going to finish second in the ladies' race. Well done, Migu. Here's Colleen, the Russian rider, with only just 70 metres to go. More results up. Kevin Hobbs, Marsan Struderek, John Rogers at 28th, Mark Lightfoot 29th, Rob Gilmore at 30th, Phil Collins 31st, Talks Norwegian 32nd, Andy Ensons at 33rd, 34th is Migu Canada, as you've seen Colleen taking 35th. And Christine Meek is going to, I think, consolidate her position in the Ladies' League. This is fantastic. I've known Christine for some years, and I'm delighted, and it'll be an absolute pleasure sending her a trophy if she can get a good result in the last and final race next week. Well done, Christine. Superb stuff. Glad to see you. Here's Maria Vitsky riding for West London and hosting tonight's race. It was her course. It's her local crit course. She supplied me with the details. We put it on. Puerto Rico, we salute you. It's been an absolute pleasure to hold one of our races virtually on one of your tracks. It's an actual public road. It's not quite a track, is it? But it's been an absolute pleasure. Our second visit to the Caribbean region. Not 100% sure if technically Puerto Rico is in the Caribbean, but I think it might be. It depends. Depends on the line of the island you're on. Don't ask. Anyway, that's for another day. Let's see Maria finish. She's got 300 metres to go. She might as well sit up and just enjoy and wonder why the scenery looks nothing like it does in Puerto Rico. I'll say that it was trees on one side, wasn't it? Because it goes along this canal, so it's sort of buildings on the left and trees in the canal on the right. So half the scenery is commensurate with the video. If you watched the video that we supplied to show you what it was like. Maria then coming in for the penultimate time and for the first time on home territory for her. Well done, Maria. Thank you for helping us put this one on tonight. Been absolutely fantastic. And Lisa West, another lady who's helped these series over the years, another Twickenham rider. Lovely to see you in tonight, Lisa. Shame you couldn't make the first two, but it's worth a wait. Always good to see you. Thanks very much, as usual. So, something to look forward to. RGT is finishing, as you know, and at the end of the month, our good friends from OTR are going to put on a ride up the Stelvio, and we want everybody who ever did RGT to turn up, and we'll all ride up there on that. A big farewell to RGT. So look out for that one. It's brought to you by James Ogilvy from OTR on the 31st of October, as it just said there. Look out for that. 31st of October. Gonzalez Kugel, I'm not sure what his first name is, sorry about that. 39th at the moment, will be the final finisher by the looks of things. So somebody didn't finish. We saw somebody not finish by the start line, didn't we? And 117 metres. This is the end of the penultimate race. There is only one race left to go. And it's going to be a tearful moment. There we are. Somebody stuck on the start line. So there you are. Well done. Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez. It's a sad moment, but not quite the saddest. I'll try and get Gasper Copps' name right this time and stop reverting back to former centre halves for Queen's Park Rangers. Rocket Roy O'Neill. We never had anybody by that name playing at Rangers. He finished first, just about ahead of Gasper. Wouter Clays in third. Nick Greenhouse in fourth. 5, James Melville. 6, Alistair McAlpine, the 2 Glasgow United riders. Poker Motions, John Samet taking 7th. Racio's Matt Hammond in 8th place. That's 4 Racio riders in the top 10, because Mario Marisek's at 10th. The last two just sandwiching Carl Axels and a person from RGT Sweden. Well, another fantastic race, exemplary finishing from Roy the Rocket Neild. I see Roy quite often go off the front and not win the race, and I think it's well deserved when he does. It does all go his way and he gets it right. So I'm very pleased for you. The top 6 were fantastic today. Everybody's fantastic. 39 finishers. One race to go. I mean, that is it. It's going to be a sad moment. Champagne for after the race, please everybody. Turn out in numbers. Let's make it a big farewell to RGT from West London VR. I'd like to thank Damon at ZMS for helping put this on tonight, the production, for the broadcast. There are so many people, as I said, Wouter Clays with the background IT that's helped so many of us organisers put on races. Everybody else that's ever contributed to this over the I don't know, about 4 or 5 years that RGT's been a thing. It's sad, and it was fun, but we'll all remember it very well. Just remember this though: every one of you who's ridden has contributed to this. If you've watched these streams, you've contributed to this. It's about a community, and that community is moving to IndieVelo. We know that. Let's make it continue in such a positive vibe that you've all helped and contributed to in your own ways over the last 4 years. It ain't dead, it's just moving house. Okay, see you next Wednesday and see you every Monday on IndieVelo. Thanks very much, Damon and ZMS. Another fantastic production. See you soon.